Welcome back to my next video. Now, what do you think about my jacket? It's not bad, is it? Guess where I'm going? I'm going snowboarding. Never done it before, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I've got a nice jacket for it. Now, you heard me say going snowboarding. That is a fixed expression, go snowboarding. And we can use go plus the ing to talk about many different hobbies. Yeah, go surfing, which you know that I do a lot. Go skating, go cycling, go hiking, go running, go swimming, go diving. The list is endless. Now that I'm going to call that one of my phrases for today. I have 11 lovely phrases for you to put in the PET exam to guarantee top marks. Okay, so that's my first one, and you get about 10 for the price of one there. Yeah, okay. Go snowboarding, go skiing, go skating, go surfing, go swimming, go diving, go hiking, go golfing, etc. So stick with me and I'll give you a few more. Next up in my list of 11 phrases, we've had one already. Now again, I'm going to give you 5 for the price of one for the next phrase. I'm going to call these collocations, fixed expressions with a preposition. When we talk about our hobbies, we can use things like I like, I love, I enjoy. Okay, that's pretty basic. That's fine for A2, but for PET, let's step it up a level. I'm interested in going skiing. I'm interested in reading. I'm interested in cooking. Now you will have heard that I used the ing afterwards, and in fact after a preposition, if we use a verb, we're always going to use the ing. So there are other phrases like I'm keen on, which is another way to say I like a lot. So I'm keen on reading, I'm keen on traveling, I wouldn't mind going to this place. I'm keen on cooking. Again, the same, keen on plus the ing. Number 2 for the price of one. I'm passionate about, as you know, I'm passionate about surfing. Or we can say I'm passionate about going surfing, as I just talked about. Yeah, next one. I'm into crime books. I'm into series. I'm into learning languages. Again, we can use a noun or we can use the ing form. And the last one, I'm mad about. I'm mad about exploring new places. I'm mad about developing my skills. I'm mad about sport. All right, so you had 5 for the price of one prepositional phrases. That's my second phrase. You're getting good value here, okay? So stick with me and I'll take you on to the next one. Now, these videos are all about practicality. When I say practicality, I mean my goal is to give you guys stuff that you can use at PET B1, impress the examiner. So let's go straight to it and look at writing. All right, opening the writing. Now I'm going to call this one phrase. So this will be phrase 3. How do you open the writing? You can start with hello. You know, hello Richard, dear Richard, if you're being a bit more formal. But it's that little beginning part of the letter that is really valuable and is an opportunity to show some nice language. So there are a few lovely phrases that you can use. Long time no see means you haven't seen each other for a long time. Long time no see. Or we can say long time no speak. It means you haven't spoken for a long time. Another nice thing to start off with is it's great to hear from you. Now that does not mean that someone has spoken to you necessarily. It could mean they've written to you. But we still use this at the beginning of a letter. It's great to hear from you. Okay? Something else that's very nice using the present perfect is how have you been? How have you been, man? You know, how have you been? Something else also useful, how are things? Things just means your life in general, okay? When we want to include everything, okay? You know, school, family, work, hobbies, how are things? Yeah, so those are some very nice phrases to kick off your letter. Okay. Phrase number 4. At some point in the writing, you are going to have to give advice. There are 3 or 4 really great phrases for giving advice. So let's start with a second conditional, which we can use for hypothetical situations. But this phrase is really good. I've talked about this before, but it's a great one to use in your letter. If I were you, I would. Let's imagine that you've asked me for some advice about places to visit in Ireland, yeah, a country where my parents come from. So I would say, if I were you, I would go to Dublin. It's a fantastic city. But if I were you, I would take lots of money because it's quite expensive. Let's say that you wanted somewhere cheaper. I might say, if I were you, I would go to Spain. The price of life is fantastic. Yeah, so this is a great little phrase to use for advice. If I were you, I would plus infinitive. Now we can do it another way. We can use recommend or suggest. Okay, we can use recommend or suggest with the ing form. So I recommend going to Dublin. I suggest going to Dublin. We can also use it with you. So I suggest that you go to Dublin, or I recommend that you go to Dublin. Same thing. Yeah. Something else that's quite nice and quite informal is what about? What about going to Dublin? What about going to Spain? Okay. Again, it's a way of making a suggestion. So that's nice language to give advice. And that's my phrase number 4. You're getting good value here, yeah? Right. You're going to have to finish or close your letter. And there are some really great language that you can learn and you can use in most cases in letters. So let's give you a few examples. Right, got to go now. We can use that to say, you know, I need to finish this letter. Even better, definitely B2 and definitely impressive for the examiners. Right, I must dash now. Yeah. In fact, when it's an informal letter, which you're going to get in the PET exam quite often, we can omit the pronoun. We can leave it out. So instead of write I must dash, write must dash, or write must go now. Yeah, and that just sounds a bit more familiar, a bit more relaxed. Something else you can finish with, and I've talked about this phrase lots, hopefully you know it by now, this is a really nice way to finish a letter, is I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Again, hearing in the sense that you're looking forward to reading their letter. You feel good, you feel excited to read their letter in the future. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Or if you're going to meet, I'm looking forward to seeing you. Now, again, we can get rid of the I'm to make it more familiar and more relaxed. Looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to seeing you. Okay? This is for informal situations, informal letters, which often they are in the PET exam, but just remember that informal use. Yeah, so those are some nice ways to finish your letter. Okay, again, continuing with the idea of practicality, let's look at the speaking exam. Now, we've already talked about some phrases you can use to talk about your hobbies, which often comes up, you know, go skiing, go running, go walking, go cycling. We've seen some fixed expressions which are very nice. I'm keen on, I'm passionate about, I'm mad about, I'm into, I'm interested in. Let's look at some interactional language, some language you can use to interact with your partner. Now, this will come up in the later parts of the exam. And this will come up in the parts where you are discussing different options. So, you are going to have to express your opinion. Let me give you 3 great opinion phrases. Now, it's obvious to use I think, and that is fine. Perfectly wrong. Perfectly fine. But we want to push the level up, impress the examiner. So instead of I think, we can say, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is not a good option. Another one. From my point of view, this could be quite interesting. That's nice. From my point of view. And something else, somewhere between B1 and B2 here is I'm inclined to think. I'm inclined to think that this may not be the best idea. In my opinion, from my point of view, and I'm inclined to think. 3 great phrases for opinions. So that takes us up to 7, 8 phrases. Really, it's been quite a lot more. I think we're on about 7 or 8, yeah? So I'm going to give you another 3 to ask for the opinion of the person you're doing the task with. So again, think is okay. What do you think about this? All right? But we can move it up a bit and say, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on going surfing? Again, on plus ing, a little bit of grammar to remember there. What's your opinion on going surfing for the weekend? Now, if you don't have an object going surfing, you can just say, what's your opinion? Yeah? Not what's your opinion on with no object. All right? You only use on with the object. What's your opinion on going surfing? Or what's your opinion? This rule applies to other phrases when you're asking someone's opinion. So, what do you think? Or what do you think about going surfing? Yeah? Again, what's your point of view about going skating this weekend? Or if we have no object, I'm sure you've guessed it by now, what's your point of view? And something else that's quite nice, quite familiar, quite relaxed, and used very often in day-to-day English, I say it all the time, my friends say it all the time, is what do you reckon? This is another way to say what do you think? What do you reckon? Or, of course, if we have an object, what do you reckon about going skiing this weekend? So 3 lovely phrases to get the opinion of the person you're speaking to. Now that puts us at about 10 phrases, but I want to give you a bit more. All right, I've got 15 minutes, so I can pack quite a lot into 15 minutes, and that way I can help you a bit more. So you are going to also agree or disagree with the person that you're speaking to in the speaking task. This is a fact. So it's good to know some phrases to express agreement and disagreement, and also to ask. The obvious one is I agree. Yes, I agree, or I agree with you. Not, I am not agree. A lot of people make this mistake because they think agree is an adjective. Agree is a verb. I agree. The negative, I don't agree. Or we can say I disagree, which is quite nice too. Now that's nice and that's the basics. The question, of course, is do you agree, and not are you agree. All right, get that into your head. Okay, that's a common mistake and it sounds sloppy. All right, sloppy means it doesn't sound very good. So, I agree, I don't agree, I disagree. Do you agree? Now, let's move it up a bit and we can vary our levels of enthusiasm and our levels of commitment. So, wow, I couldn't agree more. This means I totally agree, yeah? All right, I couldn't agree more, yeah? Another phrase that we can say to really express that we strongly agree with our partner is I strongly agree. I couldn't agree more. I strongly agree. You're absolutely right. And something B2, all right, if you're very comfortable, you've hit the nail on the head. That means exactly what you've said. Okay, I 100% agree with what you've said. You can just answer, yeah, 100%. That's used very much daily in UK English, okay? Going surfing could be cool. Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, very relaxed, okay? Now, of course, if you're not sure, you can say things like, I'm not so sure about that. Or, very nice, I agree up to a point. It means I agree, but not fully. All right? And then, of course, disagreeing. You are free to disagree. You don't have to agree with your partner, all right? Don't let them lead and tell you everything and you just go along with it. No, you can show your own independence and your own opinion by disagreeing. Disagree and give you a reason. So, I disagree. That's the basics, or I don't agree. Something a bit nicer is we're not really on the same page there. In other words, I see things a bit differently. Or I don't really see eye to eye with you there. Okay? So those are some nice phrases to agree, disagree, or when you're not sure to express that. All right? Now, you will, at the end of the speaking, be asked to show whether you agree or disagree and come to that final decision. So, if you've decided that you're both on the same page or you both agree, you can express that you're choosing by saying, let's go for this option. Now, go for means choose. That's a fantastic phrasal verb. Let's go for this option. Let's go for surfing for the weekends. Or let's go for visiting museums. Yeah, again, using the ing because you've got the preposition for. Let's go for visiting museums. Or shall we go for visiting museums? In other words, shall we choose visiting museums? Great little phrase to show that you agree. And of course, if you don't agree, you don't have to agree. You can say, well, we agree to disagree. In other words, we're happy to disagree. We've made our points and that's okay. Yeah. So agreeing, disagreeing, expressing that you're not sure. There's some lovely phrases. And that takes us up to phrase 11. But of course, you're going to get a bonus. I'll give you one bonus just to wrap up. Now, my bonus, number 12, or probably about number 25, but you know, I'm here to help you, is using alternatives in the speaking when you're talking about different options. Now, you can say that's a good option, but saying that's a good option all the time is a bit repetitive. So that's a good choice. That's a good alternative. That's a good possibility. Yeah? So we've got option, choice, alternative, possibility. We can use all of those words to describe the different options, the different things available that we have. Okay? So that's a wrap from me today. I hope this language has been useful for you. I've enjoyed making it. I've given you a lovely range of language, so go forth and use it, practice it. Remember the grammar aspects, for example, following the preposition with an ing form in a verb, okay? So make sure you're using the language correctly, and that should boost your speaking and your writing in the PET exam. So best of luck. Look forward to seeing you again in the next video. If you like the video, give us a like, set your notifications, and tune in to our channel. Looking forward to seeing you again, guys. Take care and enjoy.